When The Karate Kid hit theaters in 1984, it kicked off a legacy that no one saw coming. Ralph Macchio as the determined underdog Daniel LaRusso and Pat Morita as the wise and Mr. Miyagi had no idea their story would stand the test of time. The movie wasn't just about karate, it was about discipline, resilience, and the battles worth fighting both inside and out. Decades later, Jackie Chan put his own spin on the story, keeping the spirit alive. Then, 8 years after that, Macchio helped launch Cobra Kai, bringing the saga to a whole new generation on Netflix. Now, the next big chapter is on the way, Karate Kid Legends, set to tie everything together. Columbia Pictures just dropped the official trailer for Karate Kid Legends, giving fans plenty of time to get hyped before its spring release. The movie hits theaters on May 30th, 2025, and stars Ben Wang alongside the legendary Jackie Chan and the iconic Ralph Macchio. The official synopsis reads, in Karate Kid Legends, after a family tragedy, kung fu prodigy Li Fong is uprooted from his home in Beijing and forced to move to New York City with his mother. Li struggles to let go of his past as he tries to fit in with his new classmates, and although he doesn't want to fight, trouble seems to find him everywhere. When a new friend needs his help, Li enters a karate competition, but his skills alone aren't enough. Li's kung fu teacher Mr. Han enlists original Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso for help, and Li learns a new way to fight, merging their two styles into one for the ultimate martial arts showdown. Karate Kid Legends is directed by Jonathan Entwistle with a script by Rob Lieber. Karen Rosenfeld is producing, while Jenny Hinkey and Ralph Macchio serve as executive producers. Alongside Ben Wang, Jackie Chan, and Ralph Macchio, the film also features Joshua Jackson, Sadie Stanley, and Ming-Na Wen. Sounds like a solid lineup for this next chapter in the Karate Kid saga. Coming back to the trailer, this Karate Kid Legends trailer is not what I expected, and I'm into it. I know people are tired of reboots and sequels, but this one feels different. When the movie was first announced, I thought it would carry the same fun energy as Cobra Kai, but nope, we're going deep and dark with this one. What I really want from a Karate Kid movie is top-tier martial arts, and from what this trailer shows, it delivers. We've got intense action scenes, like Li Fong pulling off a wall-jumping falcon kick, and the legendary mentors proving they've still got it, even in their 60s and 70s. While it's exciting to watch Daniel and Mr. Han show off their skills, the real standout moments will likely come from Li Fong's fights. One of the coolest scenes in the trailer shows Li Fong battling in what seems to be a tournament, but another clip takes things up a notch. A fight in an alleyway. In this sequence, Li jumps off a dumpster, grabs a ladder, and then uses the wall to launch himself into a kick against his pursuer. What makes it even more impressive is that it appears to be shot in one continuous take with no cuts. This level of choreography proves Karate Kid Legends is bringing a whole new level of action to the franchise. Even though the Karate Kid movies focus on karate and kung fu, their fight choreography was never the main draw. Sure, Daniel's crane kick is iconic, but let's be real, it's not like the early films had groundbreaking fight scenes. Some of them were even pretty rough, but fight choreography in movies has come a long way, and Karate Kid Legends has the potential to deliver the best action in the franchise. If Karate Kid Legends doesn't have the best fight choreography in the series, it would be a letdown. The original Karate Kid movies are classics, but let's face it, their fight scenes haven't aged well. The 2010 remake had much better choreography, but Legends needs to step it up even more to justify its existence. Since this movie is meant to launch a new era for the franchise, its action scenes need to wow audiences. That said, fights alone won't make the movie great. It's just as important for viewers to connect with the characters. Daniel and Mr. Han already have strong fan bases, but the real test will be whether audiences relate to Li Fong. If they don't care about him, then even the most impressive fight choreography won't make Legends memorable. That said, what made the original Karate Kid movies great wasn't the fights, it was the characters. The emotional weight behind Daniel and Johnny's showdown made it unforgettable, even if the actual fight wasn't mind-blowing. And throughout the series, Daniel's bond with Mr. Miyagi was so heartfelt that fans were always rooting for them, regardless of how flashy the action was. Anyways, this seems to have the tone, the music, the vibe. It all feels focused and gripping. Sure, the story will probably be predictable, and who knows, maybe they'll reveal that Mr. Han is Mr. Miyagi's younger brother. but as long as this movie makes me feel like I can kick through 20 layers of wood, I'm sold. But I will say that Karate Kid Legends is going to feel pretty off if it doesn't acknowledge two major missing characters. Since the original Karate Kid, one of the biggest hits from the franchise has been Cobra Kai, a Netflix spin-off that reunited Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence after years apart. Even if Karate Kid Legends decides to overlook Cobra Kai, which would be a huge mistake given its massive success, there's no way it can ignore Johnny Lawrence. He was LaRusso's original rival and has become such a key part of the story that leaving him out now would feel downright weird and, honestly, kind of disrespectful. Since Legends is a sequel to both Karate Kid movies, it would feel pretty strange to just ignore Dre Parker. They don't necessarily need to have a big role or even a cameo, but completely erasing them wouldn't make sense. These characters had a huge impact on both LaRusso and Mr. Han, so acting like they never existed would be a weird choice. Bringing LaRusso back for Legends basically confirms that his timeline is now part of a bigger cinematic universe. He's come a long way since his All Valley days, but a lot of that growth happened after Miyagi's passing, especially when he reconnected with Johnny, turning their rivalry into a real friendship. That arc is a huge part of who he is now, and unless Legends is rewriting history, leaving it out would feel both weird and disrespectful. As for Mr. Han, his story is way darker. Long before the events of the 2010 film, he was haunted by the tragic loss of his wife and child in a car accident he caused. He isolated himself, punishing himself and believing he didn't deserve to connect with others, until Dre helped him heal and move forward. So if Legends just erases Dre and rewrites Mr. Han's past, it's like saying none of that ever mattered. Since they're bringing these characters back, their growth and the people who shaped them shouldn't just be ignored. As important as Johnny and Dre are to LaRusso and Mr. Han's pasts, they don't necessarily need big roles in Legends. A small cameo would be ideal, but at the very least, they should be mentioned in passing. The movie should focus on the new Karate Kid without too many distractions, so a subtle nod, like Johnny and Dre showing up briefly at the end or simply saying goodbye, would be enough. Alright, that's a wrap for today. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe unless you want a surprise karate chop. Just kidding. But seriously, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more updates on this and other awesome movies and shows. Catch you next time.